Set your alarm, aren't you hungry?
This man was a hypocrite, in my honest opinion. He really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, he was a shock jock. And, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality, rest in peace.
Bruh!
Perception, a way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something. A mental impression.
Want to move forward. For the people who want to argue, bicker back and forth, and try to watch a piece of content here and there, and try to say, well, you're doing this. I'm not talking to you. Because if you don't watch enough of my content, you don't get to question what I'm doing. If you really want to know, sit down and watch. Watch the titles. Don't just read. And if you are going to listen to what somebody's telling you about what I said, well, that's your fault. When you can come to the horse's mouth and get it right there without their bias and their context.
Reality, the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them. Bruh, Kevin Samuels. I feel like ODB, birth control. Perception versus reality, bro. You can pretty much apply this concept to anything. I might make a series out of it, bro. But perception versus reality, in this case, what women think versus what Kevin Samuels' message actually was. Because could he have been nicer? Yeah. Could he have changed his tone? Yeah. But he wouldn't have got his message across as strongly as he did if he did those things, bro. When you stop and ask people why was he doing what he was doing, of course emotions would get involved. He just like tearing down black women. He just like putting people down. He like body shaming, fat shaming, or saying that you pass a certain age, you no good. No, because as a person is actually sat down and watched his videos from front to end, the monologues, the conversations he had with the women that called into his show, this is me showing what the reality is versus what the perception is, because I like things to be clear. He wasn't just sitting down doing that for no reason. Kevin Samuels could have made content pandering to women like everybody else, but he chose the harder, less traveled path, which is cutting straight to the truth, because he did the same thing with men. Cut straight to the truth, no filler, no pandering, no BS, bro.
Why would the female of the species want to take your genes and put them into the next generation?
Correct.
Short, I mean, you're fat, underemployed, and unambitious.
Okay.
So the question is, why was he doing what he was doing? And everybody can come up with different answers, especially the people that didn't like him. He was doing this because he didn't like, or he wanted to separate and divide. Like, that's not what I got from actually watching his videos from front to back. Most people judge his videos off of clips or off of what somebody else said about it, but they don't actually go in and watch the actual conversations that he was having with real women in real time, live, bro. He has plenty of smoke shows too for people that had problems with him to come on and they could debate those things or talk about it or come to some common ground or common understanding. But a lot of people didn't come out until after he died, and now everybody got something to say. Everybody got smoke for this dude when he can't defend himself. That's what I have a problem with. So going back to the question, this is the third time I asked, why was he doing what he was doing? Why was he on YouTube, Instagram Live, having these conversations? Because what it did was expose a lot of pre-existing problems or pre-existing conditions that already existed within a group of people between the male and women, the man and woman dynamic.
Aaron too hungry in this bitch.
Problems that already existed, and he wanted to help. At least that's what I got from it. He wanted to help, and his method may not have appealed to a lot of people, but like I said, if you actually sat down, and people can say, I don't got time to be doing that. Only somebody with no life have time to. People make time for the things that they want to make time for. Nobody's too busy for the things that they want to make time for, bro. Everybody's busy, but when it's something that you really want, you make time for it. And when you want understanding, when you want real answers, you make time for it. So I don't want to hear that BS. Only people that don't got time, that don't got going on in their life, got time to sit down and watch his shows or sit down and do something. Like, you a full-time mom, you a full-time employee, you want to go back to school, you make time for going back to school. So, like, I don't want to hear that, bro. Why he did it, if you ask me, is because he wanted to help, bro. He wanted to bring awareness to certain situations that's been going on, and it's only getting worse. Now, what he did was wake up a lot of people, men and women, as to what these problems was. The expectations was way too high, the standards was way too high, they're damn near impossible. Like, it's not, even if you're an exceptional man, that's still not good enough. So he wanted to help those men, and the men that weren't quote unquote high value, wanted to help them become better men themselves. Because what you want these people to stay stuck? Like, he opened a lot of eyes, bro. And this is stuff that I was being more aware of before I ever even heard about Kevin Samuels, but he really blew this stuff up, bro. He was perceived to be one thing, but in reality, it was something else completely.
Answered it.
No, you did not. I asked you a question. The polite thing to do would be respond. Are we on the same page?
Which page was it?
You respect me, I'll respect you. You be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Don't overtalk me as the host of the show, and we have no problem.
Don't overtalk me.
Kick rocks.
Bruh. Danger zone. Danger zone, bruh. What is the danger zone as defined by Kevin Samuels? If I'm remembering correctly, it's the woman between the age of 27 and 35. And they have such a time limit, a biological clock on when they can, find a guy, settle down with, get married, have kids, in that order. Not out of order, but in that order. Before you get to the point of, what's the word he used? Geriatric pregnancy, where it's a high risk of not having a successful pregnancy. So the danger zone was that age group with a limited window of when they could get certain things done. And that's the difference between men and women, because the difference between men and women, a man has to work and earn his value. We're not born with our value. The things that women value in men, we have to work and earn those things. But we're not born with that. We have to go out and make something out of ourselves and become something. That's the only way a woman of substance would want anything to do with you. You got to go out and become something. You have to add value, whether it's your resources, your protection, your whatever you can to add to her life. But I'm learning as a woman the things that men value in women, which are beauty, fitness, friendliness, cooperation. If you fat, bro, you can lose weight, yo. But if you're not the best looking person, then you can enhance whatever qualities you do have and maximize on those. But the things that men value in women are beauty first, bro. And most women are born with that. Women are made to be beautiful. That's why they are, bro. They're supposed to be beautiful. But they're born with that, and they have that early, so they don't have to work for it. They have that, and those are the things that men value in women, and that is not gonna change. I don't know. That's the problem. Women try to change that about men. They try to take what they value and place that on what we should value. That's never gonna be the case. That's the problem with the danger zone. The woman, most cases, not all, but most cases, has had their experiences early on because they have their beauty. They were able to pick and choose from the guys that they wanted. And when they go through whatever BS or trauma or turmoil with those guys, they get to a certain age where they get tired of that and they're ready to settle down. Okay, cool. The only problem with that is by then you have raised your standards sky high and you have these impossible to reach standards after you've been ran through and used up by all these dudes. A kid or two may have been a result of that. All this baggage, drama, trauma, PTSD, like all this stuff is possible, bruh. And a lot of cases this stuff actually happens, bruh. And you got all of this baggage, and a higher value man is supposed to come along and take all that on and accept you for you when he had to work to become that high value man that all these women want. Like, why is it fair for a man to work so hard and become the best version of himself just to have to accept you for you when you haven't been doing any work for yourself? You just been getting ran through with this dude after this dude after this dude after this dude after this dude, got kids, got drama, got all kinds of baggage going on, and I'm supposed to work so hard and that's my prize, versus I can go out and get me a younger girl that's more fertile, that's more cooperative, that's more beautiful, and start something of my own with that, bro. That's the problem with the danger zone. These women, I think they're starting to realize that, but only because Kevin Samuels made this such a huge deal. He poked at it and poked at it and poked at it and kept on poking at it. And a lot of women had problems with that. Some men had problems with that. And I don't believe that his message was, after a certain age, you're no good. Because that's not true, bro. We all are still here for a reason, for somebody. Whether it's romantically or not. What he was saying is, if you don't change your mindset, then you're no good. You can be a 35-year-old woman. You get your mind right. You are willing to learn and change, and you put in the work, bro, because you still have that competition of the younger woman that doesn't have to do all that. But if you're willing to put in that work, then you can get a quality of man that you really want. Yo, like, it's not impossible. You just have to change your mindset. Us dudes, we have to change our mindsets all the time, bro. We have to realize as we grow that, well, I can't do this anymore because if I do this, then these are the results I'm gonna get. If I want the results I really want, then I gotta go out here and make something out of myself, bro. Gotta go out and be somebody, bro. What you mean, bro? We gotta go out here and do the most, but it's always worth it at the end. So that's the problem with the danger zone, is these high standards, these impossible standards, and then expecting to get the same things you did when you was younger, when you didn't have kids, baggage, so many bodies. Like, no man want to marry a girl that's been ran through and passed around by everybody, bro. What kind of shit is that? You and your girl go out in public and every dude over here like, oh yeah, I remember her. Oh, yeah, I used to, bro, I used to tear that. Nigga, she used to do this to me. She used to what? Nah, don't no man want that, bro. So that's the problem with the danger zone, bruh. And I was talking to this girl. She was 31 at the time. I ain't gonna say her name, but she was fine, dog. She had the looks, bro. She had the looks. And me being, I was like, what, 25, 26 at the time. Me being that age thinking, okay, I'm about to mess with this 31-year-old John. That's a grown woman, bro. She is a grown woman. I've been messing with these young girls, bro. I want me a woman, bro. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm about to tear this. I'm about to, what? Talk to her, found out she got 3 kids by 3 dudes. 3 different dudes, bro. I'm thinking, damn. 3 kids by 3. You ain't learned I get the first one a pass, maybe, but you ain't learn after the second one, bro. Like 3 kids, so she already got 3 kids. Then she said she got her tubes tied. So a dumb nigga would think, oh, I could smash her raw and bust all in her and she won't get pregnant. Like, no, she probably told the last 2 niggas that same thing, bro. Don't be a dumbass and be the 4th baby daddy. Then there's something wrong with you. But nah, she had 3 kids by 3 dudes. She had her tubes tied, and she told me with a straight face, "Oh, well, next man I'm with, you know, if he wants to marry me, he has to pay for that. If he wants to marry me and he wants kids, then he has to pay for the operation for me to get my tubes untied so I can have kids." I'm like, well, damn, for all that, I could just go mess with a girl with no kids that don't got her tubes tied, bro. Because think about it, she got 3 kids. That's 3 miles that's not yours, that you got to take care of and pay for out of your pocket. This woman already got trust issues and baggage from all her other previous relationships where she had kids with the and the nigga that she said, when you ask him about the baby daddy, she said, "Oh yeah, they ain't no good. They this, they that, they all these bad things." I'm like, well, damn, why would I want to invest in that? Like, why would I want to waste time and put my time and energy and resources and efforts in that when I could just go out and get a younger woman that doesn't have all of that? Danger zone, bruh. The mindset, bro. You change your mindset, you change your life, dog. Bruh, shawty, whatever, dog. Bruh.
His Instagram is Aaron200.
What a lot of women don't realize is when somebody's giving them free game. I was watching a video, Shark Tank or whatever, whatever on Adam 22 No Jumper podcast. And he was interviewing all the girls from Blueface show. You know, Blueface do his show with the girls in the bunk beds and all that, bro. Shark from Adam 22 was interviewing them, and he was basically asking them, you know, why did y'all come here? Why are y'all here? What are y'all trying to gain from this? And when he would tell them, when the girls would tell him why they were there, he didn't judge their reasons by being there. All he did was try to put them on to free game, as into how they can maximize while they're there, how they can maximize on their opportunity while they are there. And instead of them realizing, hey, he's giving me free game, they got offended and got defensive. Offended and defensive, that's funny. They got defensive and tried to argue back with him, and all he was trying to do was get him free game. The reason I brought this up is because that's what Kevin Samuels was doing a lot of the time. On the surface, it looks like he's arguing with a woman, but if you really listening to what he's saying as a viewer, you'll realize the free game that he was giving out. Yeah, he'll say book a session, but he was giving out a lot of free game on his videos, yo, on his live streams, on his conversations, or even on his monologues. If you really listen with what he said, listen in good faith, and you really listen to what he was saying, it was a lot of free game being given out, talking about, you know, what he's seen growing up, relationships, the danger zone, everything that's going on that's a problem today in modern dating and this whole climate and environment. It's not anything that we can't see for ourselves. We see it all the time in person and internet. All he did was shine a light on it and then gave out hella free game. The problem was with a lot of women was his tone and his delivery. But I mean, for real, dog, if he was to have a nicer tone, would you have even considered paying attention to what he was talking about? He just would have been, oh, that nigga ain't talking about nothing. But he came and talked to you like a stern father. His tone and his delivery was like a stern father, bruh. And that's what a lot of people had a problem with. Women and these soft dudes that probably get ran over by women. Because think about it, bro. Think about it really, dog. If you a woman and you messing with these soft dudes, you don't really want that soft dude that you can run over and tell him what's what and control him. Now you want a man, yo. That's why all these soft dudes be getting cheated on, bruh. They be getting cheated on and lied to and all this stuff. They get put in position to be the woman's bitch, dog. And like, don't no woman want that for real. Don't no woman want no man like that. That's why they go and cheat on him with the man, bro, the alpha dude, bro. Like, I've been on both sides, so I know what I'm talking about. And so does Kevin Samuels, yo. So did he, bro. He was giving out a lot of free game, shining a light on something that was already a problem. And then not only that, he was coming up with solutions, yo. He came up with a lot of solutions, and most of the time it was stuff that you probably did not want to hear, but it made a lot of sense. And for the people that actually followed through with that and did what he recommended, they worked on themselves, they improved, they got better, they became a better person, they went to the gym, they got fit, they exercised, they did all this stuff. Those are the people that got the results that they wanted. At the end of the day, Kevin Samuels, he was asking, what do you want? And then he was asking, what kind of men do you want? And then he asked, well, are you what the man that you want wants? Like, as in, you want this from a man, but if you was to run into that kind of man, are you what he would want? And that matters, yo. Nobody ever stopped to think about that, and he made a whole show based off of that. And then he would give solutions on how you could possibly get that. Free game, and all you had to do was listen. If people really listen instead of ready to jump and attack, then you would recognize the wisdom in the things he was saying past the surface level of what makes you mad or what makes you emotional. You feel me, bruh? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Y'all be safe. I'm out.
It will be a pleasure when the day comes that I'm not right, because that means women will start to change. I will gladly take being wrong, verifiably wrong, because that means women will start to change. And when women start to change and make adjustments, that means they're going to be better for the men.